dude.
That took a turn.
Bro, these people are disgusting. Like, you're never gonna get past the fucking allegations of being weird. Like, literally never. Like, literally never.
Yeah.
What a weirdo, dude. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's it going?
Cole, thank you for the $4.44. I can't, and you're driving. Let's get this next person up here. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. Everyone tap that screen. Let's try to run it up to like 1.5 million likes. Everyone really tap that screen. I want to see how many likes we can get to, y'all. Yo, what's up? Oh. Dean was at 3 million today, everyone. Dean was at 3 million. We're getting cooked by Dean. We're like getting absolutely cooked by Dean.
Dean is fake news.
Yeah, I know. He's faking likes.
Yeah, total fake news. He's buying
total fake likes. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
This guy said that you make up everything, so that should be fun.
Oh, okay. Evan, you there?
Yeah.
Are you voting Trump?
I can't vote.
Oh.
Why are you getting the...
Thank the fucking Lord.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank the fucking Lord. They said I make up everything. Thank the Lord.
Thank Jesus.
Thank Jesus, everyone.
Someone
Holy.
said that I was worth 4 million tonight. Yep, I was. On a live that I didn't even do. Magic.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up?
Yeah, are you voting for Trump?
I think I am, honestly.
Why so?
I don't know. I definitely felt like there was a lot more. I saw the last 4 years when Biden and stuff was president. I think that obviously there was a pandemic, but the prices definitely skyrocketed and stuff like that. I don't know. I think the economy was in a tad bit better situation than
Okay, so what did the Biden-Harris administration do that you disliked?
How old are you?
I think it was. I'm 19, so I can't vote. I think it was just what they didn't do, man. The whole border thing's a little bit scary, especially with the manual type of labor work I do. I definitely see it a lot in the industry where there's a whole bunch of immigrants coming in. They're just taking up all those jobs for super underpaid labor and stuff like that. It sucks because they're underpaid, but that kind of undermines a lot of the people who actually do.
So why don't you support the border bill? Right? Why didn't Trump try to get the border bill? Why did he block the border bill?
He did?
Yeah, he tried to get Republicans in Congress not to vote for the border bill. Even people like Lindsey Graham said this. People like Mitch McConnell said this. People on the right were saying this. He said it himself. He said, blame it on me if the border bill fails. Now, he did that specifically because he didn't want to help the election prospects of Biden-Harris.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying both parties are perfect, but I think what was really sad was Kamala Harris was just a horrible excuse of a vice president.
Kamala.
She was in
What did she do
charge.
that was bad?
She was in charge of the border. There was over 15 million illegal immigrants.
Wait, what authority over the border did she have?
Yeah, that was her role. She was selected as head of the border.
Wilson.
No, she wasn't.
What constitutional or statutory authority did Kamala Harris have to solve the border crisis?
She was selected as director of the border. And you can look that up.
Okay. One, there's no role called the director of the border. That doesn't exist. There's a role called the director of Homeland Security. That's Alexander Mayorkas. He's in charge of the border. Kamala Harris is not, because she does not have any constitutional or statutory authority to solve the border crisis. What she was in charge of is trying to bring investment into 3 Central American countries to help reduce migration from those countries, and she succeeded on that. Now we have very little migration from those countries, and she got $4.2 billion to go into those countries. So her mandate was to do that, and she succeeded.
So 15 million illegal immigrants crossing the border was succeeding. I mean,
By
maybe
the way, I'd like to see the number you have for that. 1, 2, as it relates to this. Again, she didn't have constitutional authority over that. He just explained it to you and you didn't listen.
Of Homeland Security. It's on their website, man. Like, I completely understand.
It doesn't say 15 million. Wait, what's the title?
It is almost. I think it was around 10 to 15 million. I don't know the exact number. I'm not looking at it, man. It was around 10 to 15 million illegal immigrants. 1 out of 4 were actually a convicted felon, rapist.
Maryland, thank you for the $2.19. Wait. How would you know that if they're undocumented, genius?
How would you know that?
That's from the Department of Homeland Security's website.
No, you just made that up. You just totally made that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you did. You totally made that up.
All right.
Just letting you
What
know,
are
by
your
the way.
reasons?
Just letting you know, by the way. Due to a study from PNAS.org, undocumented immigrants commit violent crime at a 2 to 3 times lower rate than natural-born U.S. citizens. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So
Learn something new every day.
significantly lower rate.
Okay. So, do you think that we should just completely open up our borders?
No, that's not what I'm
No one's
advocating for.
advocating for that.
So, under this department, or I guess this, whatever it's called,
That's not what we've done.
Didn't see
That's a
Biden
complete
Harris. Would you agree that there was a border crisis?
lie. So yeah, I could say that there was a border crisis, but then
And-
also, do you think there's a border crisis right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then we have actually lower levels of border crossing numbers right now than we did at the end of Trump's administration. So if we have a border crisis right now, we had a border crisis at the end of Trump. So please tell me why Trump didn't get rid of the border crisis.
What do you mean?
We have the same level of border crossings right now, actually lower right now.
Biden
Daily
decommissioned
crossings.
the building
Listen.
of the wall. So Trump-
Wait. You can't tell me what and then not listen to me. Come on. I literally just explained to you and you didn't listen. We have the same level of border crossings right now, if not lower. We actually have lower right now, than we did at the end of Trump's administration. So if we have a border crisis right now, well, then we had a border crisis at the end of Trump, which means why didn't Trump get rid of the border crisis? Why didn't he fix it?
I mean,
Like he said he was going to do.
He was completely walling off the border and stuff like that.
How much of the new wall did he build?
What?
How much new wall did he build?
I'm not sure. I don't have the exact number, man.
Yeah, he built 3.7%.
Okay, and how much did Biden Harris build?
I'd have to check. It's
0%. They
but
completely stopped it.
No, there was some.
Fine, the walls don't
No,
work.
Wasn't there? Hold up. Wasn't there like some that was given to it, and they also like in the border bill that they were
They
referencing?
completely stopped.
Shut up. In the border bill that they were referencing, that they supported, they did actually give some like funding to build some more a little bit. So like that was like a conservative part of the bill. Mary, thank you so much for the $50 on
Mary.
Cash App. Can we get some W's for Mary in the comment section right now? Thank you so much for the $50 on Cash App.
I'm
Thank you so much.
curious
And
why-
Heather, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. I appreciate
Why
it.
do you support Kamala
Yes, that's
Harris?
so funny.
I'm curious. I'd like to hear both sides.
Yeah, because she hasn't been held legally responsible for sexual abuse, defamation, fraud. She doesn't have 34 felonies. She didn't try to overthrow the government. She didn't try to restrict women's access to abortion. She didn't call for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the country.
How
She didn't
has
deny
Trump
science
restricted,
and say that climate
women's
change isn't
access to
caused by
abortion?
humans. What's up?
How has Trump restricted access to abortions when he clearly
Yeah, he put
stated-
multiple Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade, which restricted 1/3 of women's access to abortion in this country, did not provide federal protections for rape victims, and even in some states, women can't get access to abortion, even in instances in which it could lead to death in the future. They have to be
No.
actively dying in order
You
for it to
know
be
that
applicable.
almost under 1% of all abortions are rape? Did you know
Regardless
that?
of whether or not they're 1% or not, that should never happen in this country.
No, I agree completely.
So
but
Wilson,
Trump never actually stated that he supported the Roe versus Wade. He is delegating all that to the states' power.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Dude, you didn't listen.
Do you agree that Trump wants to keep the issue of abortion completely to the states? Do you
I
agree
would
with that?
agree that. I mean, that's what he stated
Okay.
at his rallies. So
Then why did a couple days ago did he say that he's open to revoking the FDA approval for mifepristone, which is the #1 used medicated abortion pill in the United States? Why does he want to use the FDA to get rid of the main primary way that women in all 50 states get abortions? Because apparently he believes that it should be state to states, but now apparently he wants to use the power of the federal government to restrict it.
did he do it? No, he's open to it. Did
Hold on. No,
What?
listen.
Dude,
You
what
walked
is
right
this?
Into it. You walked right into it. I asked you, does he want to completely keep abortion to the states? You said yes. And then I gave you, when Trump said that he's open to using the FDA to get rid of the primary way that women in all 50 states get abortion care. And you're like, well, he's open to it. Yeah, but that means he doesn't care about states' rights because he's open to using the power of the federal government.
Okay, I understand your view. Now, so Kamala Harris said,
Kamala.
she was, or Kamala, whatever.
Kamala.
Kamala, all right. She was completely open to actually completely banning the production and the usage of diesel and gas vehicles. She said she was open to converting completely to electric.
Wait. At what point? She's not for it right now. That's complete total BS. Even back then in 2020 time, like when she was running, she was not advocating. Not right now.
To an electric industry for all public schools, for school buses and stuff like that.
For school buses is totally different. You see how the goalpost constantly changes? Sophia, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Sophia. Can we get some W's for Sophia in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Sophia.
All right. Like I said she was completely open to getting rid of all internal combustion engines for school buses. Does that mean she is banning or
wait, who cares? That's totally based.
Okay, you could say the same thing about Trump, man. It's the same concept. I know it's different subjects.
No.
It's the
Do
same
you
concept.
agree with that? Hold on.
I don't mind that at all. That's actually pretty decent.
That would only be like the same thing. If she said that, and then like yesterday she said, "Well, I'm open to keeping these ideas." No, she said nothing like that. And so I'm giving you a clear instance of Trump saying one thing and then saying something completely different on the entire separate. So you can't say that Trump is for states' rights on abortion when he's open to using the federal government to ban the primary way that women get abortions. That's I'm sorry, but that's not states' rights.
Okay, I mean, I understand that's definitely your opinion. I think it personally should be, delegated to the states and stuff like that, depending on what state you live and, what the rules are there and stuff like that. I'm a guy. I don't really have a whole bunch of opinion on it, I'm not a woman, so. But I think
by the way.
I definitely think it's a smart choice, kind of leaving it up to the states and stuff like that, because no matter what party's in government, you could definitely swing it one way or the other. Let's say it was Democratic government, it could completely be controlled by the federal government saying, abortions are allowed everywhere, or, regardless if it's Republican, abortions can be banned everywhere. So I think it's a smart choice. That's why we have, this government we have is where states can be left up to some of the power and federal power.
Wait, so do you think abortion is murder?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think, in my opinion, once the baby...
If it's not murder, why should women have a restricted access to it?
I think, I'm not a doctor, honestly, but I think once it's past a certain trimester and stuff like that, when the baby's definitely a lot more formed, I don't know if I'd call it murder, but...
Persephone, thank you so much for the whale diving. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sounds pro-choice.
Yo, Persephone, thank you so much. I appreciate the whale diving.
Hey, W Persephone, damn.
Can we get some W's for Persephone? Thank you so much. Everyone also tap that screen to get to 1.5 million likes.
Now, I do got to ask you a question. What do you think about Kamala Harris being a clear... Kamala, whatever. Being a clear, she definitely switches up her personality a lot. She was completely, during her recent rallies and stuff like that, was super supportive of police and stuff like that. And she was behind one of the major things for defunding the police. Same thing with Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. He completely left...
Saying defund the police doesn't mean that they're anti-police. Saying defund the police just means that they're going to look at the budget as it relates to the police.
Thank you so much.
And if there is more efficient things to put their money into to decrease crime, they're going to support that. It doesn't mean they're anti-police. It means that they want to change the police, how it works, and it means that they want to specifically provide other things like social services that are more likely to decrease it, or social workers, or people who are more likely to be able to deal with this, or they might advocate for more training, which includes more investment in police.
So when your entire city is burning down over Black Lives Matter riots and stuff like that...
Wait, did you know that Trump praised Walz's response?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, so then you have no argument. You literally zero argument.
I'm not arguing Trump was right or wrong in this scenario, but Tim Walz was the governor, and he let his entire...
So if Tim Walz was wrong, well then Trump was wrong as well.
Yeah, I'm not
saying why did Trump support that same thing?
I'm not saying both parties are perfect. I'm just clearly stating...
Okay, so then you can't use this against us if you're not going to use it against Trump.
Nothing's against it. I was just asking you a question. What did you think of that? Did you support that?
I'm against political violence.
Okay.
So I typically err on the side of trying to stop political violence. Now, do I think that the police use the best mechanisms of doing that with protests? No. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm against political violence.
Okay, yeah, it's fairly reasonable. What did you think of Kamala, doing all the, when she was, what party she was? Kamala, yeah. Incarcerating, or at least blocking the evidence of that one guy who got completely...
You're talking in terms of death row?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Are you talking in terms of death row?
Yeah, death row. So she actually withheld the evidence
Matt,
or
did you want
blocked
that
it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the guy was actually found to have been guilty. His DNA was eventually tested, and it was found to have matched the crime, so he was actually guilty and remains on death row. I don't think he should have the death penalty because I'm anti-death penalty, so I don't think he should have it. But still, I mean, he's on death row, and he actually is guilty. She has come out and said that she does regret not testing it. So she has taken full responsibility, which is more to say for Trump. Trump never admits that he is wrong, that he made a mistake, that he never apologized for anything. I would rather have a politician as my president who is willing to admit that they make mistakes sometimes and then move forward in a positive way than a crazy politician who thinks that they're perfect all the fucking time.
And I understand your point of view of that, but would you rather have? I mean, let's be real here. I mean, I obviously there is definitely a thing when you say that. Those Trump isn't the most well-rounded person when it comes to presenting himself and stuff like that. I think there's a big ego there and whatnot. But I would say that under Biden-Harris's presidency, that I don't know a whole bunch of good came out of that in terms of the economy and stuff like that. I know we did come out of a pandemic, but a lot of stuff is completely through the roof. Gas prices, grocery bills, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
Those
how
are
did they
global.
increase those prices?
Those are okay, sorry. Yeah.
You can go.
How did they decrease them? I mean, that's the thing,
No. Well, hold on. With respect, also too, one, the Biden administration did not cause those problems because one, they have no real control over it. These are global trends, global things. For example, the conflict in Ukraine has helped to contribute to higher grocery prices because Ukraine produces so much wheat that we and the rest of the world use. Gas prices are also a.
You mind if I pause you for a second right there?
Sure.
So for the whole wheat and stuff like that thing, under Biden Harris administration, Trump actually said he would ban this. Is the Chinese government purchasing a whole bunch of agricultural, land usage and stuff like that. So Trump said he would ban that and kind of revert back to the United States being the main, producer of wheat and actually, I guess homeland grown food and stuff like that. Because you realize the Chinese government holds up most of the farmland in the United States, and that was under the Biden-Harris administration. They did nothing to stop China buying up all the farmland. Would you?
Okay. One, if China is buying U.S. land to use as farmland, then okay, I'm okay with not having them do that. But wheat and corn, things that are our primary exports, I think we export a lot of it because we are a global market. So I don't think Trump trying to influence that market is a good thing. By the way, I think he should let the market be. I'm saying that that these overall trends are global and that the president of the United States, without the help of Congress, can't really do anything about them. But what I will say is that the Biden administration with Harris has produced some of the most monumental long-term policy that we've seen in decades, such as the Chips and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act. These are all long-term bills that are not will not produce results in the 2 or 3 years. It will take probably 5 to 10 years to see any good results from them, and that will be the positive effect. I think what we're seeing is the overall economy just starting to mellow out a little bit because we are coming down from the global shakeup that was COVID, and that's primarily the overall driver of what we are seeing happening with prices and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can definitely see your side. I mean, I don't think the economy is mellowing out at all. I think the stock market actually just crashed a couple weeks ago to super all-time low. I think it was comparable to.
Then what happened?
Never happened.
No. Then what happened?
I'm not in a cost. I mean, obviously it came back up, but
Yeah, exactly. I mean, trends up and down happen quite all the time. They were spooked because of Japan, so this is not new. They saw Japan plummet, and they freaked out, and then they rallied back. I mean, I'm sorry, but Like it just happened. So
Yeah.
I mean, we shouldn't freak out. Like when it happens, it's still at an all-time high.
Yeah. So in terms, I mean, I appreciate you guys being very open and stuff like that. I've been on a couple live streams before where everyone's just kind of super pushing their side and they don't hear the other person out. What do you think about the whole current thing right now in terms of like, especially the Democratic Party? They were, super like, oh, Biden is completely, stable and stuff like that, stable for presidency and stuff like that. Then after a couple weeks or so after the debate with Trump and him, which I think there was a clear winner, I guess if you could call it that Biden was in no shape or way to, be able to act as president after that debate. I mean, it sucks. I don't think it's very fair that the Democratic Party is doing to them. I personally believe it's elder abuse. Clearly he has something mental, Alzheimer's.
Wait, letting Trump continue to run is elder abuse.
No,
you guys should tell him to step down, because I really think you guys are abusing elderly people, and I think it's such a bad thing that you let such an incoherent, delusional maniac like Donald Trump continue to run for president of the United States when it's oh so very clear that he's utterly fucking incoherent. Let me give you one example of this real quick. I got you.
Where there's so much water, you don't know what to do with it. It's called rain. It rains a lot in certain places. But no, their idea, did you see the other day? I opened it up and they closed it again. I opened it, they closed it. Washing machines to wash your dishes. There's a problem. They don't want you to have any water. Where there's so
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you another one.
But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up on shore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
Wow,
we have another one.
What would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Did you notice that? So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards. Or here, do I get electrocuted? If the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time.
Yeah, I think this is utterly,
I had the same conversation with my nursing home resident. No?
Yeah, seriously, this is elder abuse.
Now,
you guys
would you
should
say
stop
that
supporting such a candidate? I can't believe that you guys are doing this right now. I think this is so bad. We told our candidate, who was incompetent, right, according to your views, that they shouldn't be continuing, right? We told
you
them
don't
to step
think
down.
Biden was
We got them to step
incompetent?
down. Okay, so he's
in
not
your
to
view?
the. So I think he can meet the necessities for president. The same way I think Trump can meet the necessities for president.
Exactly.
But obviously not to like what I would want from a president, from either or.
Okay.
Right, but that's why I don't give my full-throated, support for either of them as it relates to that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I completely understand from your point of view and stuff like that. I mean, I definitely think though that a party that supported Biden all the way up until he basically dropped, saying, yeah, he was completely competent to run for president. He was more competent than Trump and stuff like that. That's just not a party I don't think I could see myself getting behind and stuff like that. I mean, clearly the guy definitely has some dementia or mental
Can I give you an example? Can I give you an example, like
Go for it, yeah.
how I see it or how I kind of like parse it? So,
Rachel, thank you so much for the
Biden-
$10. Thank you.
Biden
And Savannah,
has-
thank you so much for the $30 on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Savannah in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Savannah.
Biden has the cognitive capacity to complete his term as president.
You
I
really
don't
think so?
think. Yes, right now I do. I think he has the cognitive capacity right now. Oh, I thank you for the lights. He has the ability to do it right. What I question is his ability to do it for another 4 years. Right?
Yeah.
Because by then he'll be like 86, right? So I don't
which
think
is super
that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think the same applies to Trump. Trump will be like 82 or 83.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
old,
but
yeah,
like
it is old.
that's a little bit. That's too old, right?
But yeah, no.
That's the case. Once our party saw what happened in a debate. We saw somebody who looked old, right?
Guys, thank you for the $2.
One minute,
Thank you so much.
He looked old. We knew that it just didn't seem likely that he could win the election. So we made a change, which was entirely lawful. It made sense, and we've gone this through the new process. I think the Republicans should do the same thing. By the way,
Now,
I think
who is we though? Because Kamala Harris was never actually they really didn't go
Sure,
through the
I
full
can explain that
process
too.
of being nominated.
We don't vote in any party politics. By the way, we don't vote for a pure candidate. Meaning, like, I don't tack on my ballot for Joe Biden. I tack on for delegates who are pledged to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, so I am voting for delegates who goes to the party convention to vote on my behalf. Okay, if something happens to Joe Biden, those delegates become unbound. They can vote for whoever they whoever they want. Both parties have that process. Okay,
Yeah.
So I vote for delegates. You vote for delegates. Mm-hmm. Those delegates determine who the party nominee will be. They just will respect who their state votes for. Okay. But because Joe Biden dropped out, he released his delegates, meaning that they became unbound, and then therefore they could vote for whoever they wanted. They could have voted for Donald Duck if they wanted to, right? But they went and they supported Kamala Harris because Joe Biden endorsed her. The Democratic Party, who are elected, went around her. Polling showed that Democrats thought that she was the best candidate, and then those delegates then gave the support behind it. I support that process. Okay. That's a process that's fine because I voted in those delegates.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. Now, what do you? I know we talked about it a little before, but I mean, from what I'm seeing is I don't see. Obviously, I know being vice president is a little bit different job of being president, but I genuinely do not see anything that Kamala has actually, promised in terms of
Kamala,
policy.
by the way, also she had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president ever in the history of vice presidents. Not only that, but it is the case that she advocated for things like the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act.
Did you know, Wilson, that the a $35 cap is her idea?
For $35 cap for what?
Like adding that to the Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah, for insulin. That was her idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't support that. I'm not diabetic or anything like that. I don't think it's a good idea.
I'm saying that's something that she got added to the bill. She also got added to the bill a expansion of rural broadband internet. That was also her idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see what she's actually. I mean, I've been seeing a whole bunch of interviews. I mean, here's my thing. I know I'm sorry. I keep on going over it, but I would much rather a candidate that actually does interviews and stuff like that and actually answers questions. Yeah, maybe Trump's not perfect, but I will respect that he can actually.
He will. Okay, I guarantee you, she will give interviews starting next week. You want to know why? Because she'll be the.
I have an interview of her, but it wasn't like a long interview.
I mean like a sit-down interview. She'll be giving those interviews.
Literally, you can stick your hand like.
What the fuck? Okay. She'll be giving in-person sit-down interviews starting next week, most likely, because she'll be starting tomorrow. One day from now, she'll be the official nominee for the party, and she'll be sitting down with a lot lot of people. Now, she has been extremely busy.
Actually confirmed that though. That's the thing, It could be.
Well, yes. Okay, no, hold on. If she does not in the next 2 weeks, sit down with somebody to give an interview, I will publicly criticize her. And I have no qualms doing that. I will come on Progress Live and say she should do this. It's wrong that she's not doing it.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
But I guarantee you that within the next 2 weeks, she's going to sit down with somebody. Because she's going to be the...
Kamala Harris, sit down with me! Fuck!
Yeah, with Parker. Now, so, she's going to sit down with somebody to answer questions.
Okay, now do you think that Kamala could actually sit down with the same type of tough questions Trump's get? Because, I mean, you can't give him...
You want to know why?
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
You can give him some credit. I mean, he goes against, some super big news stations and stuff like that that are obviously very openly against him, like CNN or ABC or whatever. And I think there should be some respect given where he will actually go to those platforms that are, clearly heavily against him and stuff like that, and actually sit down and have an open conversation where, she's been nominated for close to a couple of weeks now,
nominated?
right?
No. Nominated? No. She is the presumptive nominee. Yeah, she's the presumptive. Once she's nominated, she'll do interviews. But she's also been extremely busy. She's had it condensed, basically like 6 months within 3 weeks. So she's been extremely busy. Okay? And so I don't fault her for not giving an interview. But what I will say is I do give Trump credit for speaking to people who are often his adversaries. I do give him credit for that. But the problem with that is that he doesn't answer the questions.
I mean, I wouldn't say he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Whenever they ask him a question, he pontificates and he obfuscates and he just doesn't tell the truth and he doesn't answer the question. For example, he's asked repeatedly, how he would solve the child care big crisis that we have in this country. He won't answer the questions. He says things about how bad it is, how we need to do something, how people are talking about doing stuff, but he never says it. When he's asked about his healthcare policy, he doesn't get it. When he talks about his tariffs, Mr. Trump, how will you pay for your tariffs? He doesn't say anything, right? He doesn't answer questions. So he can give the interviews, but if what comes out of the interviews is just bloviation and nonsense, then there's no point.
Okay.
So,
I definitely do see where you're coming from. I mean, I definitely respect you guys actually having this. I mean, I don't know. I was watching this live a little bit. I feel like a lot of people just kind of came on here and just only speak their opinion. I'm definitely open to hearing like what else you guys do think she would, do in her presidency and stuff like that. Or at least, what has she done now that's been, I mean, obviously, like I said, vice president isn't a crazy big role. I'm not saying Mike Pence was a crazy big role or anything like that. I don't really know too much about them because then I couldn't.
Vice presidents are by their constitutional nature highly constrained. They can only do so much because Article 2 only gives them very, very certain types of parameters, and so there's not much that they can't do. I mean, not much that they can do. Like they don't have the role to do it. Like it's just not there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is how I look at it, is what's been done underneath the Biden-Harris administration, and what I've seen is nothing. I'm not saying Trump was perfect, obviously, right? But I think there's a lot more positive. Okay, that sounds kind of bad, but there was a lot more, stability in terms of the country and the country's economy under Trump. I know the pandemic was kind of towards the end of Trump's presidency, in the beginning of Biden-Harris's presidency. But what I'm kind of looking at is like the main things is I think the border crisis is a really big thing, which that's what Biden-Harris was in charge of these last 4 years.
Wait, but the border bill. So there was a solo border bill and another border bill that they specifically tried to get passed that Trump got people in Congress to shoot down.
Okay, I mean,
that would have done something at the border. The Border Patrol supported it.
I never knew anything about that.
It was written by a what's it called, a Republican.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Also,
I'm not saying both parties are perfect. This is, I think, kind of the main problem with politics is like, one side has to be right, one side has to be wrong. I think there should be kind of a general, line of understanding of like, hey, this was clearly messed up. I mean, there's a serious increase in fentanyl overdoses underneath the
you can't say that.
Wilson Chin said that. Dang it. Man, that guess was actually pretty good. Damn it. Awesome. Hey, Chief, you there?
Yeah, thank you for the naughty. Thank you so much. By the way, everyone, you can't say those.
Yeah, chat, don't say those.
You gotta say like F drug. You can't say those things on the live.
Don't say them.
They age restrict my live, and I have to kick people as soon as they do it. Why can't we talk about that? TikTok. I would talk about it. I would totally talk about it. I think it's a really big issue to bring up. I think it's important to talk about, but we can't because of TikTok.
You have to use so many fucking like weird words. Just
like that. That's when you have to, because I know every single time you get literally get the age restriction from that. Yo, Sale, thank you so much. I appreciate the fireworks. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Amanda, thank you for the $3.
43.
Okay. Were you in my comment section saying I'm paid by the DNC?
You're paid by the Democratic Party, yes.
Okay, what evidence do you have of that?
Most of your supporters that gift you are Democrats, and they fund you.
Wait,
That doesn't mean
that's not the
I'm
party.
supported by the party. That just means I'm supported by people that like the party. That's like saying that. That's like saying that someone who's a Republican is being paid by the Republican Party because certain people who are Republicans, right, who vote for Republicans, are like giving them money.
Supporting
It's
them, yeah.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Oh, I'm not going to come up here and say that you're
Wait, by the way, you're paid by the Democrats too because they just sent you some coins.
sure.
And some
Okay.
Republicans also sent you some coins, so you're paid by a Republican Party
But
and
this is
Democrat
not my
Party.
job. But this is not my job.
So you're paid.
It's not my
It's
job.
not my job, and I
But you're
make
paid.
coins of money.
Thank
so
you.
am I paid?
Thank you for gifting me. I'll gift it to someone else. Thank you. I'm not going to use it for myself.
You made like 0.25 cents, so I mean,
Okay,
like,
perfect. Thank you. I'm whatever. I'll give it to
Paid
someone
by
else.
the RNC now. Look at that.
Parker, where is the 818,000?
What do
Um,
you mean? 818 what?
I know what you're talking about. I got this.
Wait a minute.
So
Ask Parker. Where's the 818,000?
I can answer this for you.
818,000 what? I don't know what you're talking about.
The 818,000
The job revision.
jobs
The job revision.
that you
Downward.
all lied about.
It wasn't lying. This
There being a
happened.
job revision is not a lie. They do job revisions all the time.
Wait, Amos, did you know that under Trump's administration there was a 516,000 job
You
revision?
stop
Did
deflecting.
they lie
I want to
under
know
there?
why there was 818,000 jobs that were lost, and we just all of a sudden
not lost,
they
they were
just
never created.
appeared. I mean, this is the strongest economy we've ever had. You know,
Oh my God.
We're the,
Hold on.
Disappear. You
we're
just
the
don't understand what a
strongest
revision
in the
is.
G7.
You don't understand what a revision is. They didn't like disappear. You just don't understand what a revision.
And also, I already told you that Trump had the exact same thing happen.
And
He
it's
had
not 818, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But many analysts think that is a overcorrection. So it's probably lower actually. So
Actually, higher.
no, it's actually lower. If you actually read into
That
it,
is-
Yeah, it is
on
818.
That's
sources.
so. That's under who? Whose administration?
Oh my God! I'm trying to answer your question.
That's
I
not
just
determined
told
by
you
the president.
This happens all the time under administrations.
Ooh,
Trump
okay.
had the exact same thing happen. This is not new.
So what Rock and Liberal
It's only
and
mad.
Parker are
It's
trying
only
to say is 818,000 jobs were lost. Extra were lost under the Biden.
No, he has no.
He doesn't
You
know
have
what-
no clue
no.
what you're talking about.
No.
Amos, you're like actively lying. You're actively lying right now. I know you're gonna sit there and you're gonna act like you're not lying, but you are actively lying. We didn't lose.
I
those
know
jobs.
so little about
That's
economics.
such a fucking
and even
ridiculous
I know
statement
that
to
I'm
make.
not based.
So what the Labor Department estimated was that the job growth averaged 174,000 a month in the year that ended in March, a drop of 68,000 a month from the 242,000 that were
Yeah.
initially reported.
Yeah.
The revisions are preliminary, right?
Yep.
With the final numbers being issued in February next year. So
What?
these aren't even the final numbers yet. It's a revision of the original ones, which is still an estimation, by the way.
And as I already
Mustache,
told
thank
you, many analysts think that the BLS numbers that were put out today are an overcorrection, and that it will actually be lower. But as I said, this always happens. Trump had it happen at the exact same time. Trump had a revision downward of 516,000 jobs. Okay, we didn't freak out and say, "Oh my God, Trump, lost 516,000 jobs," because that's not the case.
When
we
was
didn't
that?
lose jobs. It means that they overestimated jobs.
500
Those jobs didn't exist.
So Trump had the same. So he had 516,000 jobs lost under him.
No, you don't understand revisions.
See,
I
they're like,
just
when you
explained
mute,
Amos.
that's really suspect.
Amos, listen to what we're saying. A BLS revision does not mean that we lost jobs. It means that the jobs were added where they did not exist. These are jobs that were
No,
added.
this guy's
that
like
did not
dense as fuck.
exist.
This guy's dense as fuck. Honestly,
This is
like,
not that hard to
this
understand.
is not a difficult
You
thing to
guys are
understand.
fucking talking over each other, muting me, and I'm as dense as fuck.
Yes.
No, Parker and I are agreeing on everything. We're agreeing on everything.
Fuck, man.
Do you want to respond to anything he said, or do you just want to keep saying the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life?
I'll say it again, Amos. I'll say it again, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. A revision is not about the loss of jobs. It's about showing that we overestimated the number of jobs created, meaning those jobs did not exist. So there is no job loss.